Welcome back YouTubers to another video with the British Fist, and that it consists of Mr. Parkins and me, NJ. Before we get into this Raw review, please make sure you subscribe to us up above. Like this video, and please share your thoughts about the Raw we've just had in the comment section below, and also contact us in the links in the description box below. Okay, now on to the opener. We start off with a Raw package of The Rock saying about basically his thoughts about Cena's invite to this Match Aspire series.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is The Rock's great on promos and everything, but when you've got a pay-per-view coming up, and the guy who's main eventing your show can't even make it to the show in person, it kind of really underwhelms you. Yeah, it was great. Rock accepted Cena's challenge. He started off by saying no, and then he said yes. It says that they both hate Awesome Truth. Well, okay, and then he kind of addresses Awesome Truth, which was good. He needs to address Awesome Truth, but it's just the fact that he wasn't fucking there. You know, you got your main event of your pay-per-view, and you're one of your main draws can't even show up to a show, and it's just so fucking underwhelming. That's just my opinion on that one.
The way I see it is that, yes, when it comes to The Rock hyping up his match coming up in a pay-per-view, you don't expect him to actually have appearances on a show to build it up. Yes, he can say all this great stuff, get us all wow, yes, The Rock's accepting that. But if he actually turned up and said this, one, the crowd would have loved it more, and two, could maybe have had a confrontation between him and Cena, or him and Awesome Truth, but we didn't get that.
Which would have done a lot better than what the main event did tonight. All I can say is the Miz and R-Truth video response on YouTube was fucking awesome, wasn't it?
And we'll link you to that here, or in the description box below.
It'll be in the description box. Before we go into the Punk Mark Henry match, I just want to say something. I am lost for words about this Raw this week. We have the Muppets theme. You know, it just, for me, it really, oh, for fuck's sake. Just, for me, this just did not work. I was not entertained by this Muppet thing. Maybe it's because I wasn't a Muppets fan as a kid, but it's just, I don't see how the Muppets can incorporate themselves into a wrestling show, and, you know what, we'll just go on to the Punk Mark Henry match, because this was advertised beforehand. This is one of the 4 things WWE advertised beforehand. One of them they didn't deliver on. This was Punk vs Mark Henry in a match to determine if CM Punk deserved to be the #1 contendership, and before you go into this match, you're thinking, my God, Punk a potential #1 contender, Mark Henry is a champion. Don't they both need to look strong? Is there no other way you can get Punk to get a #1 contendership, like in that promo segment last week when John Laurinaitis announced the match and then went back on it?
It's just that when it comes to this, again, it is a challenge for CM Punk. I'll give him that. But my complaint, just like Dan said, in other Raws, this is not the first time we've had this.
No.
We've had 2 wrestlers that, one, need to both look strong going to pay-per-view, and 2, they both need to be built up in a way that suits their character, and having one of them lose to the other is going to do damage to one of them.
At least it ended in a DQ, though. That's all I can say. 2 minutes in, Del Rio comes out, and he sends Ricardo Rodriguez in to get Punk DQ'd. I'm like, well, you know what? You know, I didn't really want to see this match, so I'm glad it was short. But at the same time, at least let these guys go at it for a little while, so the DQ finish can be a little bit more tolerable. You know, kind of like on TNA last week when we had about 6 minutes of action between Daniels and RVD, and then we had the interference and everything, the DQ. It was kind of more tolerable that way, but when you only have 2.5 minutes of it, it's kind of less tolerable, and it really kind of pisses you off a little bit that way.
When it comes to this match, one, we all know that CM Punk's great in the ring, and I think, as we've said before, when it comes to a short match, you can't really display your strengths and your weaknesses, of course, but this match didn't really show Mark Henry's strength that much, or CM Punk's skills.
You know, I guess it kind of forwarded the storyline a bit, because we did have another segment between the two. Punk basically beats on Ricardo Rodriguez, and then so does Mark Henry. This segment was too short. And to me, WWE it seemed like WWE were trying to do too much tonight with their show. A lot of segments were really short, not very well put together, in my opinion. It seemed like WWE were really trying to do a lot, especially while trying to incorporate the Muppets thing.
And this comes to what we've said in the past. This whole Super show, yes, it's going to do good, but it's going to be better on SmackDown. Help SmackDown show. Raw doesn't need all these SmackDown gimmicky matches. So I think for this match, it just didn't go down as well as WWE may have thought.
And look out, guys, we will be doing a topical video soon on guest hosts and what we think about those kind of things, like the Muppets, Bob Barker, Pee Wee Herman, like things like that. We will be doing a video on that soon, so make sure you listen for that coming up. So speaking of that, we then have the Muppets segment. Oh my God. Basically, the Muppets talk for a little while. Vicky and Swagger interfere. Santino comes out on the mic, and it's just like, this is just shit. I just really did not like it. At least it announced 2 matches. That's all I can say. The only positive from this segment was that we got Swagger versus Santino announcing Ziggler versus Ryder. 2 matches which I really couldn't care about. I don't know about you, NJ, but this segment for me was just fucking stupid.
Well, as we were having these guest hosts, they did need to make an appearance sometime. I think for here, this whole Santino thing, yes, it was expected because he's the entertainment of WWE. So having him come out to this was alright. But really, Santino versus a possible, a future tag team, I don't really know.
It's just filler to set up filler, in my opinion. That's just what it is. And then we had the Divas Battle Royal to determine the #1 contendership for the Divas Championship. And for this, we will forward you to our Divas correspondents, none other than the British Fist Tea Time segment, guys. And for our entertainment this week, NJ, just after we got off the holiday at the Bahamas and you got divorced and everything, was a Divas Battle Royal for #1 contendership, and all them gorgeous women in one place was fantastic viewing for us, wasn't it, NJ?
Very much so. They were in pretty outfits, they looked splendid, their wrestling skills were good, so good match overall.
Yes, I mean, the Halloween costume really suited the flow of the match, and then you had Eve Torres come out on top, and she is one hot Spanish chick, isn't she?
There was a lot of possible good divas in the match, but sadly, Eve won.
Yes, and Divas of Doom? You are now officially... And then after that, enlightening entertainment segment by the British Fist Tea Time guys. God, they're awesome, aren't they?
They're very good at what they do.
I wonder if they like the Muppets.
And the question is, I wonder if they get paid for doing what they do, not by us.
Sponsors, probably.
They need it.
Next, we get a tag match. It's Air Boom versus Rhodes and Barrett. You know what? We couldn't really predict Rhodes and Barrett. I can only imagine this match was setting up something at Survivor Series. Maybe a 5-on-5 with Air Boom and Rhodes and Barrett involved. That's the only real reason I imagine this match happened. It went for, 5.5 minutes. The Barrett barrage continues. I just think this is all setting up a 5-on-5 or 4-on-4 or something. I
really like this match. One, because you're giving Barrett the win, so it's actually pushing him up to look like he's possibly going to go somewhere. You had Cody and Rhodes involved. He actually had an appearance on Raw to show off his skills. But the only problem I had, there was no Orton. So this show didn't really... It pushed up this 5-on-5, yes, but this whole Cody and Orton thing, that was just missing tonight.
Yeah, it was. And when you're a Cody Rhodes mark like myself and you're really interested in this feud, you kind of want to see some interaction between the two. I'm guessing they're saving something good for SmackDown. I hope they are, because I do like this feud. You know, you had Christian come out, Sheamus come out with the tag teams in there, so it looks like they're going to go to a 5-on-5 or a 4-on-4 or something, intertwining a load of feuds, which might help continue the feuds in a very effective way going into Survivor Series, while also giving us a good, nice 5-on-5 elimination match.
That is true. It's good that you get this possible 5-on-5 in Survivor Series, but Air Boom, again, they're our tag champs, and for the last few weeks, I think they've not really looked that good, so I think it's pretty poor that they're the one who's getting shitted on. But
yeah, shitted on, of course. The rare occasion when NJ swears, apart from when Cena's on the screen. We then had a package. Brodus Clay is apparently going to be on Raw next week. Be interesting to see what WWE do with him. We've got our own Brodus Clay here on the British Fist. Next, we had our main event segment. Big Show versus Alberto Del Rio. You know what, guys? You know, we saw this on SmackDown a few weeks back. And you know, you have a #1 contender and a champion, and Del Rio has been booked like shit for a long time now. And my God, this match went on for 40 minutes, a little bit too long, in my opinion. While it was a somewhat decent match, it was a bit slow in parts. But why the hell did Big Show get the win clean on Del Rio?
Two things I want to say. Number one, the majority of this match, Del Rio's tactic for keeping Big Show down weren't his legs. It was doing these sleeper holds. I'm thinking most guys take out Big Show's legs, but throughout this match, a majority of the moves done were submission moves, so it kind of dragged that on. And Big Show getting the finish. You had him do that knockout punch to Big Show to Del Rio and Mark Henry that other week. Now you've had a replay this week, and to be honest, Big Show is not a possible go and be a champ guy. He's just filler. Del Rio is our WWE champion, so I think it's really poor that you've done that to him.
It's really poor how they're booking Del Rio at the moment. I don't even want to express this as anger. This is just disappointment for me by WWE. After the match, we have Punk coming down. You know, Punk says he'll put Del Rio in the Anaconda Vice until he says yes to the match that he's going to get at Survivor Series. Punk gets his match, and it's like, why did you have to do it this way to make Del Rio look even weaker than he did before? I mean, come on, could they not think of something where Del Rio may look, not as weak, and Punk would still get his match?
The way I've done this, yes, it could have been done better last week, just had it there book made, but if they were to continue this week, I would put Del Rio CM Punk, up against someone different than who he had. But I don't know, they just done this the wrong way.
Jack Swagger versus Santino. Fucking joke. A fucking joke match. Why was this match even done? It was just filler for filler. It was the filler of filler. Why was this even there? I don't even want to talk about this. This was the biggest fucking joke of the night.
And Swagger lost!
Ziggler versus Ryder was next. 9 minutes this match went. You know, I don't understand why WWE went with this whole Ziggler under the foot on the rope thing when they were just going to make Ryder win anyway. It just... And how many jobs is Ziggler doing lately? He's getting jobs in tag matches, jobs to anyone at the moment. It doesn't seem like they have much direction for him. You have 1 minute Mason Ryan looking strong against him, next minute, you know, Zack Ryder looking strong against him. You know, and it's just like, where are they going with this whole US title thing at the moment? You know, you just don't, it's not very clear defined as, say, the IC belt on SmackDown, is it?
To be honest, if they're going to book Ziggler Paul with this US Championship, they should make him drop it to someone. As long as it's not right, they should drop it to anyone. Next time match he has, make him drop it on someone else. Because Riley could use it better. Because if they haven't any faith in Ziggler to be a great US champ, move it on to someone else.
It doesn't seem like they have much faith in him by the way they're booking him. But I mean, this is another example. I mean, Ryder gets the win, you know, great. But if it was leading to something, I'd say, you know, good effective segment. But I just don't feel it is because they switched it around so many fucking times now. What do we get next? The footage of Nash attacking Triple H. Was this needed? Really? Didn't we have to see it for 25 minutes last week?
Well, that took time.
Oh god, this is another bit of filler that was just really stupid. You know, they announced that Triple H was out for another 5 weeks, that Nash was re-signed. You know, okay, so they're going to have a match at Survivor Series probably, but was this really needed? This whole segment, it was just filler.
Again, what I think with these video packages, the week after pay-per-view, fine, show it then. A week later, stop. We've seen it, it's done, move on.
And this is coming from a Triple H mark, so, you know, if he's saying that, then it really is a big issue. But thank you for doing that. Then we had Cole. Oh. Do you know what? WWE advertised a match between Michael Cole and JR. And we have Cole coming out saying that JR isn't here. And it's just like, who gives a shit, really? I'm glad this match didn't happen, but at the same time, WWE aren't delivering on their advertisement, and they've done this a couple of times now on SmackDown.
No, and to back that up, they had JR tweet saying that he's in Atlanta, and the GM told him not to turn up because his services weren't needed. So to be honest, they have something planned for next week. Some fans, if you're a fan of Michael Cole, were looking forward to this, and it just did not happen. So to be honest, booking was bad.
Who gives a shit about this match? And the worst thing about it is, you know, it's just the way it was done. I mean, and I don't know, Michael Cole, it just sucks. This whole thing just sucks. I don't want to fucking see it. And it's this reason why it wasn't here was because they had made so much time with other filler, they couldn't do this segment and get it out the fucking way with because this is essentially filler on Raw, which could be used for hyping your pay-per-view up in 3 weeks.
And now we'll talk about 3 weeks. Take away that, 2 weeks left. They're probably going to have this segment next week, which is going to be some bit for next week. But now the main event.
The main event of the evening was a WrestleMania rematch between John Cena and The Miz. This was a good I thought this was a good match. It was probably one of the better matches of the night, in my opinion. It went 9 minutes, but you have John Cena win clean. And then you have him dominate Miz and R-Truth. You know, how are we supposed to believe that Awesome Truth are going to be contenders to Rock and Cena when Cena beats them on his fucking own?
WWE, right? Again, you know my problem with John Cena. You book him too strong, and to be honest, Awesome Truth are at this stage when they're growing to this big, powerful tag team. And on one Raw, you have Cena bury both Miz and R-Truth. And R-Truth wasn't even a part of that match. So WWE, fuck you.
It was ridiculous booking. I just don't know where WWE are going with this. You know, it's just such a bad way to win the show. Do you have anything else to say about this show? Because I just want to say some stuff in my overall thoughts. This was terrible. This show was terrible. The way the show was done, the way the show was structured, the time they gave to segments almost reminded me of another TNA Impact show.
Well, as I want to get past this scene a bit, I think we should go on to the overall thoughts.
What was your overall thoughts on the show then tonight?
Okay, well, build up for the pay-per-view. Okay.
Minimal.
There weren't a whole lot of it. Yes, you had the Rock thing open. That sorted that out. You had the whole Ziggler and Swagger. They got buried. So, to be honest, there's no build there. Air Boom lost, but you had the whole Barrett and
5-on-5
Cody, that
teams.
got built.
Yeah.
That was good. You have, as the T-Top segment guy said, a new number one contender, so they sorted that out. And to be honest, the rest of it, you buried Del Rio by Punk and by Big Show. So to be honest, and then Cena doing it to Awesome Truth. To be honest, it just got really negative stuff out of that.
It did. There's so many problems we have with this show. And my main problem is just the way they incorporated the Muppets in it. When I don't think they really needed to. And just some of the booking on this show, to me, was very terrible. I just can't give this a good grade at all. I mean, there's just so much bad stuff going on. Like NJ, pretty much what NJ said. You know, wrong people winning, segments not lasting enough time, too much going on during the night. I'm giving this a D-. This show sucked. I really wasn't even entertained by it, and it really didn't do too much for me. Even looking at it from a smart standpoint, from a pay-per-view build, or character development, or title development standpoint, I just couldn't get into this. It sucked.
Well, with me, there was the entertainment aspect in it, but to be honest, it wasn't really needed. It had some flow up to the pay-per-view, so I'm going to give it a C-.
C-, D-. I just thought it was shocking, but there we go. But what's more important, guys, to us is give us your thoughts on Raw. Tell me what you think. You probably have different opinions to us, or maybe you agree with us. We don't know. Get your thoughts in that comment section below, and I'm going to give you NJ here, the entertainment side of the British Fist.
Thank you very much for watching our Raw review with me, NJ. What's up? Daniel, Mr. Parkins 01, Elmo, and that's been it from the British Fist. Goodbye.